Hello, everyone. My name is Jude Thaddeus Awe, currently a doctoral student at Carolina University. To make this short video presentation on the topic ethical decision making in organizations, and I'm gonna touch on some key points as we move on. First, introduction to ethical decision making and ethical leadership. Ethical decision making refers to the process of evaluating and choosing among alternatives a manner in a manner consistent with ethical principles. In organizational settings, it ensures fairness, transparency, and accountability, both trust and long-term success. The importance of ethical decision making lies in addressing questions such as how do desired results shape decisions? What consequences do these decisions have on stakeholders? Ethical decision making evaluates these questions by balancing individual and collective interest, ensuring that decisions align with organizational values and societal norms. In brief, ethical decision making and servant leadership are intertwined. As leaders, actions and values directly influence organizational behavior. By prioritizing ethics, organizations can achieve sustainable success while fostering culture that values integrity and accountability. Another point to dwell on is elements of ethical questioning and ethical leadership. Considering our actions and applying creativity to raise ethical queries is significant because it helps individuals and organizations navigate complex moral dilemmas. Questions such as how do our decisions align with ethical principles and what innovative approaches can promote ethical behavior arise in this context. Addressing these questions enables ethical critical reflection on the impact of actions and fosters moral reasoning, which is essential for making sound decisions. By creatively exploring ethical queries, individuals can envision what is right, assess the consequences of various actions, and ensure that decisions align with organizational values and societal norms. Brown and Trevenant, 2020, 2006. Ethical leadership theory underscores the importance of promoting a culture where ethical concerns are openly discussed. Leaders can encourage open dialogue by asking how can we create a safe space for employees to voice ethical concerns. Transformational leaders, for instance, model integrity and inspire followers to prioritize ethical considerations. This process not only strengthens trust but enhances collective ethical responsibility within the organization. Ultimately, considering actions, applying creativity to ethical questions, and fostering open dialogue promote ethical decision making and a culture of integrity. By engaging employees in this way, leaders drive sustainable organizational success while upholding moral principles. Another key point to touch on regarding ethical decision making in organization has to do with ethical dilemmas and leadership. In leadership, moral dilemmas arise when values and principles are unclear or conflict, requiring leaders to make challenging decisions. For example, Leaders may face situations like deciding between financial gain and environmental sustainability, or balancing employee well-being with organizational productivity. These dilemmas raise critical questions such as how should leaders prioritize competing values? What framework can guide ethical decision making? Transformational leadership theory offers valuable insights, especially for contending with such complexity, by emphasizing ethical behavior, vision, and shared values. Transformational leaders inspire followers to align individual actions with organizational and societal goals. A leader's reflective practice is essential in addressing ethical stakes and goals. For instance, in an organization facing layoffs, transformational leaders can prioritize transparent communications, fairness, and long term sustainability while fostering trust and minimizing harm. Additionally, leaders can use ethical decision making framework to evaluate potential consequences, uphold integrity, and balance stakeholder interests. Reflection on these ethical stakes encourages a comprehensive understanding of the dilemma, promoting solutions that align with overarching values. Another point I want us to touch on further is assessing organizational culture and ethical leadership. Assessing organizational culture and ethical leadership. Assessing organizational culture is essential for fostering ethical decision making as it reflects shared values, norms, and behaviors that guide employees' actions. Why is assessing organizational culture important in ethical decision making? Simmons 2002, Brown and Trevino 2006 has it to say, a robust ethical culture ensures accountability, transparency, and trust within an organization, enabling employees to align their decisions with established ethical standards. Conversely, a lack of ethical assessment can lead to unethical practices, reduced trust, and reputational harm. Further, what role does trust play in leadership for promoting organizational ethical change? Trust is foundational in ethical leadership, fostering credibility and collaboration. Ethical leadership theories, such as transformational leadership and servant leadership, highlight the importance of trust in creating a positive ethical culture. Leaders who exhibit integrity, fairness, and transparency inspire employees to follow ethical practices, thereby facilitating cultural and behavioral change. Furthermore, ethical leaders act as role models, using influence to promote ethical norms across organizational levels. The next question on this key point is how can leaders shape and influence organizational culture? Leaders can shape ethical culture by aligning policies and practices with core values, reinforcing ethical behavior through rewards, and addressing misconduct promptly. And also by consistently demonstrating ethical conduct, leaders embed trust and accountability, driving sustainable ethical change within organization. In summary, ethical leadership and trust are integral to cultivating and maintaining ethical organizational culture. The last key point I want to touch on is creating an ethical culture and leadership. today's the question: what strategies can be implemented to create an ethical culture within an organization? A key strategy involves embedding ethical values into organizational policies, processes, and training. Authentic leadership and ethical stewardship emphasize leaders acting as role models by demonstrating integrity and prioritizing the well-being of all stakeholders. Leaders must embed ethics in decision-making process, cultivating a culture of accountability and shared responsibility. The further question is, how can authenticity, transparency, and rewards foster an ethical business environment? Authenticity and transparency enhance trust as leaders who consistently align words with action inspire ethical conduct. Implementing reward systems that recognize ethical behavior, encouraging employees to prioritize integrity over short-term gains, promoting consistency between values and actions. Then the last question on this key point will be, what role do moral leaders play in driving cultural change and promoting ethical behavior? Moral leaders play a critical role by leveraging their influence to instill ethical climate. For example, in a study of global corporations, ethical leaders effectively reduced workplace misconduct by championing fairness and inclusivity. Moreover, organizations that prioritize transparent communication and ethical stewardship, like Patagonia, create sustainable business models and foster employee and customer trust. This alignment of values and practices driven by ethical leadership not only shapes behavior but also contributes to long-term organizational success. Ultimately, strategies integrating authenticity, transparency, and ethical stewardship build ethical culture and drive sustainable growth and stakeholder satisfaction. A big thanks to my doctor, my professor, my teacher, Dr. Cherry Johnson, who has given me this opportunity to dwell and talk on these key points regarding ethical decision making in organization. Thank you for watching and listening.